Alright, what's up man eaters and trick-or-treaters, welcome to another video on the Sammy Whammy YouTube channel. Since it's the day before Halloween, you might have noticed that epic Halloween intro. So today I'm going to be talking about Halloween a little bit, and if you haven't read the title, I'm going to be doing some updates about the channel since it's been a month since I started it. I've been wanting to do a Halloween video for a while, but I can't do it tomorrow just because I'm going to be busy. And I kinda don't want to do it tonight just because I feel like shit, but fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway. But yeah, please excuse the absolutely awful commentary that's about to come in this video because I can already foresee a fucking disaster happening. And real quick, I was thinking about getting some Doom gameplay for this, like Doom 2016 gameplay, just because it's one of my favorite games of all time and I thought it was a cool Halloween game to fit the mood and stuff, but I just feel like shit, so I'm just still using that Dead Space gameplay I did last video with, because I still have like 20 minutes left. But yeah, video time. So Halloween's kind of a tradition that I've been participating in ever since I was a fucking infant. I haven't worn a costume every year, but my family has been like celebrating it for a hot minute. Now I'm gonna keep it real, I only trick-or-treated for the experience. I never wanted any of the sweets just because sugar makes me want to kill myself. For several reasons. First of all, I feel like shit after eating it. Second, it is like really bad for you. And third, it just fucks me up. My stomach wants to fucking die every time I eat a candy. So yeah, I'd always give it to my friends or something. And yeah, and then lately I've been attending some Halloween parties just because they're fun. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me, Halloween parties are like normal parties, except it's just got that Halloween vibes added to it. A lot of people like to show up in costumes and shit. People bring candy, cider, just average autumn things. One time I went to a party and they were just absolutely clobbering people with pumpkins. It was straight up paintball. But instead of guns, it was people with really strong arms. And instead of the paintballs themselves, it was all the innards of the pumpkin. I'm gonna keep it real, it smelled like shit. People who participated in the game didn't even need costumes because no matter what, they came out of it looking like a goddamn zombie. Then also, I saw this one dude carve out a pumpkin, like he put a face on it, and then he also cut out the bottom, so he made a pumpkin helmet. It reminds you of that one episode of Over the Garden Wall where they go into the pumpkin village. It was pretty awesome. And then inevitably you'll have those teenagers who push the line as far as they possibly can in terms of costume design. You'll have people on one hand who bought their costumes from the stores or their cosplays, or maybe they made it themselves or something and it's pretty primitive. And then on the other hand, you'll have people who have costumes that look like they're designed by a Hollywood prop department and it's unnecessarily realistic or accurate to the source material. That shit's damn near plagiarism. Personally, I stayed in the middle. I always felt like the cheap Halloween costumes that you could buy at the store were just kind of disgusting. Like the fabric was shit and it was super low quality. But on the other hand, I'd hate to go all out because of time, money, and effort. Now I'm not trying to sound nice when I say this, but I genuinely respect people who put all that effort into costumes. You guys are fucking crazy. Speaking of, there's this guy I found on social media who dresses up as like this weird ass beast. Basically, it walks on all fours. It's absolutely covered in fur, and the person who wears the costume have their limbs attached to a bunch of stilts in order to walk around. Then on top of that, to add to like the creepy factor, I think, they put one of those mannequin-style face masks over them, and then they hobble around very creepily and very slowly. It's honestly hard as fuck. You probably know what I'm talking about at this point, and even if you haven't, you might have seen them somewhere, because that dude's videos and pictures are fucking everywhere. And then on the other hand, there are people who make those hilariously low effort costumes. You know how in Star Wars there are those little gonk droids that hobble around everywhere and go gonk? Basically, if you don't know, it's just a box with legs. Gonk droids are strangely adorable, and that's earned them a very lovable spot in the Star Wars fanbase. So every now and then you'll see some people dressing up as gonks, whether in high quality or very low quality. But that one guy I saw dressed up as one just put a big ass cardboard box over his body, and he wore khakis and shoes that were the same color as the box. And using a Sharpie, he decorated the box with a bunch of details. Those details were so shitty and sloppy that you'd think Michael J. Fox drew them. But it still went hard as fuck, and a lot of people took pictures with it. So yeah, shout out to Gonk Droids. Then also there's those group costumes or couple costumes. There are some pretty generic ones. For instance, some two-person costumes are the classic horse costume. One person is the head and one person is the ass. Or people will pair up costume-wise and dress up as a power couple, a dynamic duo, or a villain and the nemesis. And I'm just gonna say it up front. The amount of dynamic duos that people are gonna do of Walter White and Jesse Pinkman. Jesus Christ. Breaking Bad's been so popular recently and it's just pissing me off. I feel like it's attracting the wrong fan base. Rather than attracting people who genuinely appreciate it for being a masterpiece of a TV show, you're attracting people who want to call Mike Ehrmantraut finger. Whatever. hey, at least a bunch of bald cap sales and electric razor sales are going to increase by all the people dressing up as Walter White. And I'm curious as to how many people are going to get in trouble with the authorities, because I've already seen a lot of people think about buying blue bath salts and disguising that as the crystal meth. Basically, it's funny. I bet someone's going to take a costume too far, Breaking Bad or not, and then get in trouble with authorities for it. Another thing I think a lot of people dress up as is Stranger Things. A lot of people are probably going to dress up as fucking Eddie, or whatever the fuck his name was. Hell, at least it's a really easy costume idea. All you have to do is dress up like Eddie Van Halen, but have a fucking D&D club shirt on. Yeah, it's lame. Who else was fucking in that show? Like, new people. Oh shit, Argyle. I really want someone to dress up like that. I want to see that. Fucking Argyle. Other than that shit, it seems that 2022 is a really dry year. At least I don't think anyone wants to dress up as Michael Myers after how mid that fucking new movie was. But anyway, you always have the same people dressing up as whoever they dress up as every year. You always have like 40,000 people fucking dress up as Scream, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, fucking Spider-Man. I don't know, there's a lot of people dress up as. You have people hiding on the streets, jump scaring people too. It's just gonna be chaotic, bro. Now I'm gonna keep it real. I don't really have any cool Halloween stories to tell you. It's not like Diary of a Wimpy Kid where a bunch of big mean teenagers fucking chase me on a pickup truck. Or like I fucking die or some shit. Or as a young trick-or-treater, 7-year-old Sam goes up and gets candy from the wrong person. A white van. I've never had a super memorable experience on Halloween. Like, I went with a couple friends and those would be memorable, but it's not the type of shit that you guys would want to hear. What, all you did was hang out with your friends on Halloween and have a good time? I wanted you to talk about the time you got slipped a Pennywise perk and got forced to watch fucking Fred 2, Night of the Living Fred on DVD. And while I had a really fun time at Halloween, like literally every single year of my life as far as I can remember, I don't have any like crazy super eventful stories. They were eventful, but not like in the sense that you might be thinking or hoping. But I want to talk about something else that's kind of overarching a little more. The season of autumn in general. I haven't talked about this in a video yet, but I fucking love the season of autumn. A few aspects about it, like personally I like spring and summer a lot more, but you can't beat the uniquely cozy vibes of autumn, with the color of the leaves changing and shit. And then there's that unique crispness in the air. Like, just thick enough and it smells perfect. Like, significantly autumn. Plus, it's sweater season and I'm a sweater fan, so fuck it. And also, my favorite instrument of all time is the acoustic guitar. Acoustic guitars were made for autumn. So I've been listening to a lot of music that's mainly centered around that instrument. And then finally, I find myself watching a bunch of autumn and Halloween classics. Not too long ago, my friends and I binge-watched a bunch of the Alien movies. And then we watched the absolutely legendary Charlie Brown Great Pumpkin. You can't beat that shit, dude. But one thing I do fucking hate about Halloween, and autumn in general, is that I have awful allergies during that. Sometimes it makes me want to fucking cut my nose off and make me look like Voldemort because of how much I hate the mucus getting clogged up in my fucking nostrils. But once winter hits, it's finally going to be fine. One unfortunate thing that's going to happen the second Halloween ends, November 1st, everyone's going to start talking about Christmas. Christmas season is fucking legendary. Like, I don't really give a shit. I feel like it's kind of gotten not as enjoyable lately. I feel like a lot of people are just losing the spirit of Christmas. I feel like ever since the fucking pandemic started, a lot of people started losing their faith in a lot of holidays. But for some reason, Christmas always sticks with me. It's always awesome, but it just pisses me off during like the week or two after Halloween when everyone just instantly fucking takes down their Halloween decorations and stuff and replaces them with Christmas decorations. Some people are way too fucking eager with that shit. But anyway, autumn is a pretty dope-ass season. I like to think of autumn as a beautiful warm blanket that gives me shitty allergies. I love walking around in the grass and hearing all the leaves crunch and shit. But yeah, it's pretty dope. During Halloween, even though I don't ever eat the candy by myself, sometimes we buy some candy to hand out for Halloween. And I always thought it was funny watching people walk down our long-ass driveway. But it was worth waiting half a fucking hour waiting for them to hike their way over here. Cause honestly, I always thought it was dope as fuck to see what people dressed up as. Sometimes I felt cool as fuck when I guessed it correctly. Sometimes kids fucking suck at dressing up and I feel like a total retard when I didn't get something correct. But yeah, overall, it's just the perfect vibes. But honestly, thinking about it now, every season of the year has its advantages and disadvantages, so I recommend you enjoy them all in the moment. If you live up north like me, you better enjoy every last bit of warm weather you get, because once winter hits, it's gonna be absolute hell. But anyway, that's this video. If you're really cool and are actually watching the video around here still, just want to give a quick update about how the channel's doing. So I started my channel on the 30th of September, but nothing actually happened to it at all until I posted early on October 1st. I only posted a couple times on the weekend for a couple weeks, and then I posted the Stuff I Hate video. That blew up, and that entire week I grew like 100 subs and like 2,000 views. And then the channel went stagnant again. But personally, I don't really give a shit. I still think it's insane that in only 1 month the channel managed to get 115 subs and like 2.8k views. Shout out to the YouTube algorithm for being dope. So yeah, so it has been 1 month since I started the channel, and we're doing pretty good for a channel that just started. But I don't know, some people in my comment section thinks I'm gonna be huge as fuck by the end of the year. Some people think I'm gonna have 2k subs by the end, but personally I don't think so. Not unless the channel hits a big ass algorithm boost like it did like 2 weeks ago. But honestly, I've gotta be pretty lucky with it, cause my type of content and shit like that doesn't really catch the eye of people nowadays. But I don't really want to grow. I'm not trying to grow as big as possible. All I want is an audience of people who regularly want to watch me and listen to me talk about random shit. All I want to do is just bring YouTube content back to basics, just people talking about shit with very minimal editing. Personally, I don't really like editing, and I don't like it when people fucking bombard you all over the place with random shit that they're desperate for you to fucking watch. But realistically, I honestly don't care. Then even if I do click on the video, I'm just fucking attacked by a bunch of ADHD inducing editing. And the intro of the video is always captioned nowadays because apparently it grabs attention very well. But anyway, as someone who doesn't have ADHD, I just fucking hate that content. If anything, it's kind of overwhelming to watch, so I think it's cool just watching, even though my content's technically boring and I don't really talk about shit half the time. I don't think anyone cares about my content anymore, but who cares? But anyway, I still think it'd be super cool if the channel hits another algorithm boost one day. I don't know if that'll ever happen or not. Because again, with the content and climate of YouTube nowadays, I don't think anyone really wants to watch this. Obviously, you'll just have a bunch of older people watching me though. Peeping my analytics, I was surprised by how many people over 30 were watching my content. Maybe it is just kids who desperately went way over the 18 limit. Or it's just a bunch of fucking preschoolers using their mom's accounts. But I don't care too much. I still think it's cool that the channel's doing so well for only 1 month of being active. What blows my mind, I'm slowly exiting that creative slump I've been talking about in the past like 2.5 weeks. I've come up with some ideas and I'm ready to fucking record them. They should be able to last me like a month or so. The only problem is I need to record when I don't feel like shit. Like, I feel like shit right now recording, which is why my voice is significantly more monotone than normal. But I seriously hope I'll end up having... I hope at the very least like 200 subs by the end of the year. And I think it'd be super cool if I do end up getting what a lot of commenters want me to get, like 1k, 2k by the end. Some people seriously think I'm going to be huge by the end of the year just because of that big ass boost that I had like a couple weeks ago. Like, for example, I got like 54 views and 54 subs and 988 views in 1 day. But now looking at my analytics, I'm getting so few views and subs that I feel like YouTube just turned against me. But anyway, I'm going to quit rambling. I'm going to get back on the video grind, and hopefully I will end up, I don't know, more people and stuff will just want to check out my channel in the future. Hope I can end the year with a good sized channel. I know this video was super disjointed and I'm stuttering and sputtering a lot, but I don't really care too much. It's just some dumb update video that I'm recording really late. And again, like I said at the beginning, like I'm probably not going to be posting tomorrow because I'm going to be busy doing a bunch of shit. I'll be passing out candy. I'll be meeting up with some of my friends, having some fun. But one thing's for sure, next video I post on here is actually going to be good, like the previous video I uploaded. I don't know about you, but I actually really love the previous video. I feel like I did that really well. This video absolutely sucks, but that's just something I'm shitting out. I'm rushing it like crazy. But again, I need to shut the fuck up. Here's to 2 more months of the year. Hope the channel blows up and have some fun. At this point, all I have to do is just grind and continue improving my content. At least the quality of it. The quality of my commentary, that is. I'm not fucking editing this shit. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can do at this point. Because keep on looking at my analytics and crying whenever I see only 1 view in the past hour. Because that's not going to help. All I have to do is grind and be hopeful, and we'll probably get there eventually. Anyway, I'm sorry for stalling the end of the video so long. I don't think anyone's watching the video anymore at this point, but anyway. This has been Sammy Whammy. Peace.